Hello everyone and welcome to part one of my video series here. As the title indicates, this is in regards to my mother and our health scare. The picture here is from May of 2024. We were attending a Mother's Day event and just, enjoyed ourselves, had a really wonderful time. As you can see here, she is the picture of health. So, there were no, at that time, concerns about her health. I mean, at that time, I can say that my mother was taking like two medications and one was a vitamin. Okay. So, this is not a woman who struggled a lot with health concerns. So at that time, she was in May of 2024. She was 77 years old. Her birthday would be coming up in July. And at that time, she would turn 78. But again, in this picture, she was 77 years old. It was May 2024. We were attending an event, just, having a wonderful time. The cover picture was from a surprise birthday retirement party that she threw me back in March of 2024. I had just come from a retirement cruise. I retired in March of 2024. And at that time, she was living with me. So, everything was great. Here we are in July of 2024, attending a family reunion in Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, look at us there with our sun-kissed skin. Just, I think she actually celebrated her birthday there because it was actually her birthday that day of the banquet. So she turned 78. We ate cake again. Nothing, to be concerned about. But all that was going to be changing real soon. So this again was in July of 2024 when we returned home. I would say end of August, beginning of September, my mother complained of feeling tired, and that's just something that she never is. So I was very concerned when I got up and was on my way to my PRN job, and she was still in the bed, and it was in the afternoon. And that's just something, again, that my mother just doesn't do. So, I asked her, did she want to go to the hospital? And she did. She said yes. So I took her to the hospital, to the emergency room, and we were in the emergency room for hours. She was literally like falling asleep in the emergency room. And I'm, really concerned because, again, this is not a woman who has any concerns with energy or health. So, when, her falling asleep, that was very concerning to me. So when the doctors, took her back, finally they did drew some blood on her, and they came in and they made an announcement, and it was an announcement to me. I was informed then that my mother had been diagnosed a couple of years prior with the diagnosis of MDS, which stands for myelodysplastic syndrome. And it's a disorder in your bone marrow, and it pretty much can transition and progress to leukemia. And the doctors told my mom at that time that hers had. So from that point, she was admitted to the hospital, and we started undergoing treatment, chemo. She was receiving at that time, and was discharged home after a short stay in the hospital. Here she is in the hospital, and she was there, and while she was in the hospital, she caught pneumonia, so it was really bad. She, was discharged home and got a bleed. And then this is her and her outpatient visit, because after she was discharged home, and after finally getting her blood counts close to normal, we discharged her home. But again, she did still have to come in and get her treatments on an outpatient basis. and they do a lot of blood work, and basically they put a PICC line in, which is a line where they can access blood and give you blood products or any other medication that they may need to give you. At this time, she had agreed to a bone marrow transplant. So I am going to use the next video or part of this series to talk about what we had to do to prepare for that, as far as finding donors and that sort of thing. But here she is, just again, coming out of one of her appointments, and we have to go to the hospital like 2 or 3 times a week for her to get her blood drawn so that we can, monitor what's going on, as far as does she need any blood products, or does she need, any electrolytes and everything like that. But again, the type of leukemia that she has is, and it should be a slide coming up soon. It's acute myeloid leukemia, which basically is that her body or her bone marrow is producing these, small, immature white blood cells. They can't be used, actually. They call blast. And they just take up space in your body, so your body won't produce real blood cells like red blood cells or platelets or white blood cells. So it's just full of these blasts. There we are, eating out the dinner. And that's her just doing her thing. And again, that talks about the leukemia. Yeah, so, I thought it was important to do this video series for a number of reasons. I think, my mother's from the South, so, it's kind of traditional, I think, in the South that people just don't talk about their health concerns. So maybe it's just generational. The older people, they don't really talk about their health concerns. They just kind of handle it or don't, And I think it's important that we, kind of break the cycle with that, especially in the Black community. We need to talk about our health concerns so that we may be able to help somebody. Maybe, because fatigue is one of the symptoms, and it's major, and it's something that you can get it checked out, and with early detection, a lot of these things, can be handled. So we caught hers early. So again, the next series will be about the preparation for the transplant, the stem cell transplant, which she agreed to have. And, and this is a journey, it's a real journey. So, this little snippet of what I'm showing you is just, like I said, just a little small thing just to kind of say, hey, go to the doctor, get it checked out. Because again, I'm so glad that we did, because just fatigue, again, was something that, led us to know that something was wrong. So, well, besides having the diagnosis, of something that's kind of a precursor to some of these things, and, just trying to handle it. And that's just, again, my mother's way, But I just want to encourage you out there to, just encourage your loved ones to seek medical attention.